there are some encouraging signs about alts. Okay. Here's one from Noah posting on CRU Analysis talking about how the ETH to BTC pair, right? It's close to breaking its 200-day average. And the last time it did that was 2020, 4 years ago. Guess what happened then? That was basically after the halving event 4 years ago. And that's when ETH and alts started going upwards. Okay. So can something like that happen again? Well, this morning I covered how ETH fees are basically at a 6-month low. So it's almost as if people capitulated on ETH and alts altogether. And usually when that happens, that means right around the corner, there's a pump, a very good, gigantic pump that's waiting. That's usually what happens. And here's something else that shows you Bitcoin dominance versus altcoins. And if Bitcoin dominance starts going down in a big way, guess what's going to happen? Alts start pumping up to the moon, right? It's that simple. So we could be at the cusp also where we start seeing alts go up in a big way, right? Along with Bitcoin. They don't have to be like, there doesn't have to be an inverse relationship. I think most people think there has to be, like, Bitcoin needs to go down for alts to go up, or alts need to go down for Bitcoin to go. No, they could both be going up at the same time. You know what? There are a lot of great things happening with some of these alts, right? For example, Avalanche. Avalanche is integrating with Stripe, so makes it easier for people to on-ramp with fiat. That's fantastic. Of course, you need that fiat on-ramp. Otherwise, no one new can actually buy crypto, right? So Stripe is getting involved and partnering with Avalanche. That's great. Avalanche is still very in tune with the meme coins, right? So they still have this meme coin rush, which basically allows you to stake your memes on Trader Joe. One-sided staking. You don't have to worry about permanent loss, right? And they just distribute about 10,000 AVAX for this program. So they are fully embracing memes in a big way. So that's fantastic. Kamino Finance, which is a DEX, it's a perpetual based DEX on Solana. Okay, they're doing awesome. They're about to airdrop some more tokens starting tomorrow. So get ready for that. A lot of you guys that have been using it, well, you're just going to get some free airdrops just for playing along, basically. And Coinbase is going to list Neon, which is basically an EVM compatible dApp. I don't know if it's a dApp or a chain. I think it's more like a dApp that allows EVM dApps to come aboard to Solana, right? Very easily. And Coinbase go list them, so I'm pretty sure they're going to get a pretty gigantic bump because of it. So lots of good stuff happening in the space, guys. And you know who else decided to join the party? Michael Saylor. A small purchase, very small purchase, but they decided to buy another 122 Bitcoin for 7.8 million, and now MicroStrategy holds 214,400 Bitcoin, right? So Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, they adopted their Bitcoin strategy years ago, and it has worked out pretty well. Look at this. This is kind of surprising. Since MicroStrategy adopted their Bitcoin strategy in 2020, their stock has gone up 937%. Almost, no, it's more than double Bitcoin's performance. That is impressive. Look at that. Even compared to Google, Microsoft, Meta, Oracle, Gold, and everything else, look at MicroStrategy's stock versus everything else, right? So obviously, Michael Saylor, this morning I said I showed an interview where he said he studied thousands and thousands of hours about Bitcoin, and he came to the conclusion it's the best thing out there, right? And obviously that decision has worked and has driven MicroStrategy up to the moon right now. Morgan Stanley filed with SEC that they want to put Bitcoin ETFs in multiple funds that they hold, okay? So that means, again, they're trying to give more exposure to Bitcoin spot ETFs or Bitcoin ETFs in general, okay? And again, the demand is sky high. The demand is there among institutions, among countries, among privately held companies, among publicly traded companies, and retail investors, right? So this is all very, very positive indeed. And even though, recently I've said, hey, Bitcoin is down and there may be some volatility. I said that this morning too, right? Long term, I have absolutely zero worry about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to go higher. And I've said this before and I've shown this before. Sometimes Bitcoin does take breathers, does dip, does have volatility. Look at it. We had plenty. It's not like it's new. And I don't see how anyone could be really that bearish when we are above $60,000. In fact, we're right on 64,000, right? Do you guys remember the days when Bitcoin was below 20,000 not too long ago? Beginning of 2023, we were hovering below 20,000. And even at those levels, we had 20% crashes from 30,000 down to 24,000. We had multiple crashes. You guys remember those days? Yeah, it didn't feel too good. And I said the same thing. You hodl DCA and wait for the gains to come to you, right? Now that we are more than double from those levels, it's no different, right? Every time we go through this, a lot of people go and get really depressed just, over a little volatility. But we will get through this and we will go higher. You just have to be patient and look at the signs. Look at everything I'm showing you guys in terms of the macro conditions around the world, which is horrible. The growing fundamentals of Bitcoin, which is absolutely fantastic. And just look at the supply and demand. Demand is going up and supply is going downwards, right? And even from a TA perspective, something like this. When you have consolidation periods, generally speaking, in a bull market, that's really good because nothing goes up infinitely forever like this. There will always be breaks, consolidation periods. I've been saying basically Bitcoin has been going sideways. It hasn't been going down. It's been going sideways, right? And the last time Bitcoin went sideways for a prolonged period of time, guess what? We finally broke out and made a new high, right? Same thing with the time before. We stood even longer, okay? Months upon months upon months upon months going sideways. And guess what happened? We broke out. And that was when we were below $30,000, right? And I remember those days. A lot of people didn't want to listen to me and said that, hey, Bitcoin is dead. We're never going to form a new high. We're not going to go up. This cycle is different and this and that and blah, 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 and blah. And guess what happened? We moved upwards, okay? Like clockwork, like every single cycle, right? So just be patient. And we'll see what happens with spot ETFs and Ethereum ETFs now trading in Hong Kong, right? Will Asia FOMO in tonight or this morning for them? We will see.